Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is one of those rumors that could turn out to be a game changer for the Bears and the entire NFC North. Word is circulating that the Kansas City Chiefs, fresh off a tough Fort Worth season following their Super Bowl glow, are considering trading one of their biggest defensive stars, Chris Jones, to Chicago in what could be a blockbuster move. And let me tell you, the details surrounding this potential deal are pretty intriguing, especially for Bears fans who are hungry for a dominant front seven and a serious push toward the playoffs. Sources suggest that the Chiefs, in a bit of a rebuild mode after their recent struggles, are open to parting ways with Jones in exchange for a second-round pick in 2026 and a fifth-round pick in 2027. This move would not only free up about $25 million in cap space to help Kansas City reset and reload, but it could also be a strategic move to get younger and more flexible financially. Kansas City, after all, has been prioritizing their draft picks and cap management, especially with the ongoing quest to build around their young quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, and an offensive line that's been under some pressure, recording 52 sacks last season. But why would the Bears be involved in such a high-profile trade? Well, it makes a ton of sense from their perspective. The Bears have been desperately searching for a game-changing defensive tackle to anchor their line, and finally put an end to that revolving door of inconsistent run defense and pressure on the quarterback. They've struggled mightily against the run, yielding around 142 rushing yards per game last season, and that's an area that Chris Jones could absolutely dominate. His reputation as a colossal defensive tackle, a true mountain in the middle of the line, is well-deserved. Over his career, Jones has amassed 100 sacks, which is impressive for a defensive tackle, along with 395 tackles and 20 forced fumbles. His PFF grade last season was a stellar 92.4, which puts him among the elite at his position. In 2025, Jones continued to impress, recording 15 sacks, 26 tackles for loss, 41 quarterback hits, and 54 total tackles, all while dominating the interior with a pressure rate of 29%. He's also shown the ability to generate consistent disruption, with a run-stop win rate of about 24%, and his EPA, expected points added, per snap was around 40, reflecting how impactful he is in shutting down opponents' run and pass plays. Importantly, Jones has maintained good health, avoiding major injuries, and has surpassed his 2024 performance when he recorded 13 sacks. His peak performance resembles that of Fletcher Cox at his best, with a 20% increase in double-team win rate and a low YAC, yards after catch, allowed, making him a nightmare for blockers and a game winner on the interior. So what makes this trade such a potential game changer? First, it's about the immediate impact. Adding Jones to the Bears' defensive line, alongside guys like Andrew Billings, could transform their front seven into one of the most formidable in the league. With Jones anchoring the middle, the Bears could see a drastic improvement in their run defense, potentially reducing their yardage allowed per game significantly. Plus, having a disruptive force like him would free up other players to make plays, and that's exactly what the Bears need as they aim to be more disruptive on defense. The numbers speak volumes. Currently, the Bears' defense has been on the weaker side against the run, giving up around 142 yards per game, which is uncharacteristic for a team that's traditionally prided itself on stout run defense. Bringing in Jones could help swing that stat dramatically, perhaps reducing their average by close to 25 yards per game. This would make them a much tougher team to run against, forcing opposing offenses to rely more on the pass, which Chicago's secondary, with players like Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon, would be better equipped to handle. Furthermore, adding Jones would elevate the Bears' ability to generate interior pressure. Last season, Chicago's pass rush was decent, but lacked that consistent, game-changing talent in the middle. Jones's presence could boost their total sacks by around 16 or more and give their defense an extra dimension of pressure that's been missing. It's not just about sacks, it's about the pressure, the disruption, the forced mistakes. Jones is known for his ability to win against double teams, which means he can draw attention away from other rushers, and that could open up opportunities for players like Robert Quinn or DeMarcus Walker to get to the quarterback more frequently. From a tactical standpoint, this move would also make the Bears' defense more versatile. With a player like Jones, they could switch between different fronts and schemes more effectively, keeping offenses guessing. The impact on EPA, expected points added, would be significant, especially in terms of stopping runs and forcing negative plays. Chicago's front could become a nightmare for offenses, especially when considering that Jones tends to win about 2 tackle for loss, TFL, per game against guards, often mismatching them and creating chaos in the backfield. This kind of dominance parallels some of the best interior linemen in recent NFL history, and it would give the Bears a true star on defense. Now, on the other side, the Chiefs are ceding some valuable draft capital, but they're also gaining much-needed cap space, around $32 million in 2026, to rebuild and retool after their disappointing season. Citing their recent struggles, with a 1-4 record over their last 5 games, Kansas City seems to be focusing on a longer-term strategy, perhaps betting on their draft and free agency to fill in their gaps, especially along the offensive line and secondary. The decision to trade Jones might be controversial, but it aligns with their current rebuild mindset, prioritizing future flexibility over immediate wins. In Chicago, this acquisition could be a turning point. It's about more than just one player. It's about signaling to the rest of the league that the Bears are serious about competing now. With a front 7 bolstered by Jones, Chicago could see a resurgence of their defenses reminiscent of the 2018-2020 era, where their front was among the best in the league. This could also positively influence their overall team confidence and allow them to focus more on building the offense around Justin Fields, knowing they've made a significant upgrade on defense. And let's not forget, this move could have ripple effects across the division. The Lions and Vikings are already strong contenders, and if the Bears manage to bolster their defense with someone like Jones, it could tip the scales in their favor. Plus, Jones's impact in the trenches could make Chicago a more intimidating team to face, especially at Soldier Field, where the home crowd's energy is already a factor. Building a defense that can control the line of scrimmage is a recipe for more wins, and it's exactly what the Bears need to accelerate their rebuild and push toward playoff contention. As for the Super Bowl implications, adding a player of Jones's caliber could shift the odds significantly. Right now, the Bears are seen as a team with potential, but not quite a contender. Bringing in a dominant interior force could cut their championship odds from around plus 4,000 to something closer to plus 2,100, a 48% increase in their chances of making a deep playoff run. It's reminiscent of the Rams' boost when they signed Aaron Donald, giving them a true game winner in the middle of their defense. Jones's addition could be that difference maker for Chicago, elevating them from a team on the cusp to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Looking ahead, this isn't just about one season. It's about setting a foundation for sustained success. Chris Jones at his peak is a franchise-altering player, and if the Bears can land him, they're making a statement. They're here to contend, to challenge the NFC powers, and to finally give their fans something to be excited about. It's a bold move, but in the NFL, bold moves often lead to bold results. The Bears have been patient, they've been building, and now they might be on the verge of making a major leap forward. In conclusion, this potential trade is about more than just acquiring a star defensive tackle. It's about shifting the entire landscape of the NFC North and the NFC as a whole. It's about the Bears finally getting that game-changing presence in the middle and turning their defense into a nightmare for offenses. If this move happens, it will be talked about for years to come, and it could be the spark that propels Chicago back into serious Super Bowl contention. The NFC is wide open, and with Chris Jones in Chicago's colors, the path to glory just got a lot more interesting. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.